I'm going to read a chapter from my new book, Not Exactly Don Juan and the Liberated Woman. It came out April 30th, 2017. Chapter 26. You're the son your father always wanted, 2011. It was a Wednesday, March 16th, 2011. I'm in Phil's basement gym. I follow him to the bathroom. He's looking for something, as I have my questions about possible upcoming fights. For me, he's been offered. So how big is the girl, I asked. Well, they're not sure yet. Hey, you remember that girl that lost the 115 title fight in Oregon when we were there in January? Phil asked. Yeah, the one with the short blonde hair, good-looking kid, talented with sparkles on her eyelids, I recalled. They're considering having you fight her, Phil replied. Wow, she's really good, I responded. Well, yeah, she hasn't responded. It's just been proposed to me. No commitment or anything yet. You know, she's out of Tara LaRosa's camp in Washington State, Phil said. That's cool, I responded. Phil now had the gauze and scissors in his hand. I wondered what he was up to. As we stood alone in Phil's basement gym, I asked, what's that for? We're punching tonight, and I'm going to wrap your left knuckles with gauze. It's your left hand, right? He asked. Oh yeah, I guess it's when I punched your elbow last week. That was nasty. Why didn't I see that while we were sparring? What was I doing? I asked. Phil responded, I blocked as you threw, and you were squared and not balanced when you threw. Phil walked over to the southeast corner of the gym and sat down. I sat down and reached out my left hand for him to wrap the gauze padding onto the broken knuckles of my left hand. Phil began to wrap the hand, placing the gauze on the broken knuckles. Phil finishes up wrapping both hands, the left one padded with gauze on the knuckles, the right hand with my red wrap. Then Phil helped me put on my 4-ounce MMA men's large gloves. As he does, he says, You know, you are the son your father always wanted. I responded, Really? Phil nods, Yep. Look at what you do and how you do it. Any father would want a son like you. Oh, 'cause of what I do? I asked. Yes, but also your attitude, Phil replied. It was a Wednesday night at 9. It was my usual private lesson day and time with Phil. Then we would begin the 30 minutes of punching. Phil would work it in such a way where I would punch jab crosses for 10 minutes straight, with proper stance and structure. After every punch, my hands were to be brought back to my face, especially as the other hand released the punch, or else he'd comment as soon as I slacked. Phil would don a belly pad that was black, old, and leathery. He'd lean into my punches, move and make me move, keeping proper structure. Then after a 10-minute round of punching, Phil would give me a 1-minute rest. Phil would have me do another 10 minutes of punching, only this time throwing all hooks. All the hooks were meant as body shots. Then he'd allow another 1-minute rest. Then have me do another round with 10 minutes of punching. Yet again, a change in the type of punches he wanted. This last 10-minute round would be all uppercuts. As Phil and I would proceed with each 10-minute round of punching, Phil would ask, wondering something about me. How do you count punches? I responded as I punched, 676, 'cause I count in 702, fours. The round bell soon rings. I say, 816 hooks. During the private session, one of Phil's pros walked in that night. It was Mark. Mark was a very talented wrestler. When he came to fighting, that boyish look, when he wore his glasses, made him look like a third-year student at MIT. So much so, many people would have never guessed that he'd fought Frankie Edgar in Atlantic City just years before. He sat outside the cage on one of the white plastic chairs watching us. Had Phil not said hello to Mark, I would have never noticed. I'm an assembly line kind of worker. Just tell me what to do, and I will do it. I will remain fully focused until you tell me to stop. I'm on a mission, and so I apply whatever I have to give of myself to get there. I was on my second round when Mark walked in. During the 1-minute rest, Mark said, I can't believe what she's doing. That's crazy. Phil responds, Mark, Jody does 3 10-minute rounds of punching with 1-minute rest every week. She needs a 10-minute fight round. That would be a good fight for her. My wonder is, how does she count as she does this? I responded, Rain Man goes to Pride. Pride? Unknown to anyone, I figured that me focusing on counting helps me remember the mission is about the punching, not the pain. My right hand would bleed, cuts on my knuckles as we proceeded this way on a variety of Wednesday nights for the first 32 minutes of our session. By now I'd been doing this in his gym 5 days a week. This regiment now had begun just 2 years before. And there you go.